else. They refuse to produce a warrant because they're looking for Fadiel Adams.
Okay.
You with me so far?
Yeah.
Now throw your mind back to the ad hoc committee where Mkwanazi promises the committee that there's going to be a conference call later where someone's going to tell you something about Adams. That someone is Sergeant Carlton Thomas, who Mkwanazi them set up in front of cameras and threatened to make an incriminating statement about me and my Metro Police escort that I used to Westville Prison. The sergeant refused. He subsequently laid a charge of intimidation against Mkwanazi and Gopal. Just so that you know where we're at. So, there's an email there where Mkwanazi now confirms this morning at 8:01 that there is indeed a arrest warrant out for me, in KZN. But if you look at the very top of the first page of the email, you'll see that he tried to recall the email. Because Mkwanazi is trying to cover his ass. So that's it. I'm just waiting on a statement from the sergeant. Just print 3 or 4 copies. We can give it to them later as well, man. They can share it amongst themselves for now. Just so we can get going. It is Sunday morning after all. And white people also have sisters now. I love you, Brendan. You know, there's only a handful of the settler type that I like, man. You are amongst them.
So is the warrant of arrest by the KTT or KZN commissioner?
I have no idea because SAPS has refused to release a statement thus far.
So who told you that?
It's in Mkwanazi's email to Gopal this morning where he acts like he doesn't know what's happening. But let's go. Whenever you guys are ready.
I think we are.
Okay, Kenaro.
Because nobody's answering.
Good.
Just a little bit.
Do you want to wait for that other statement first?
No, like I'm trying to call live. So it will start.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for attending. My name is Fadiel Adams. I'm a member of Parliament. I serve on the police portfolio where we attempt to hold the South African police accountable. Accountability does not exist within the South African police services. These people are law upon themselves. On Saturday morning at 4 a.m., my previous residence was raided by the PKTT. I no longer live there. With a budget of hundreds of millions of rands a year, this corrupt unit can't even get an address right. The result of this, an innocent teacher, a 30-year-old female, had rifles pointed in her face. Her husband was made to lay on the ground in the middle of winter. A 12-year-old son was assaulted by something that claims to be a police officer. Who assaults a 12-year-old child physically? Because he woke up startled. This happened. A case was laid. I then went to the police station and laid a case of intimidation against the South African police services. I do believe that this raid is engineered by Lieutenant General Mkwanazi, the self-proclaimed savior of the South African police services. The weakest form of police commissioner this country has had in 30 years. The coward from KZN who ran away when the country needed him. And I'll tell you why. In the ad hoc committee, he claimed that I used a blue light escort to the prison in Westville. I was indeed escorted by Metro Police, not the South African police services, to the Westville prison, while on my official duty. Because I went to Westville prison to interview the killer of one of our finest, Sindiso Mkhaka. I think this country's forgotten about him. He was killed for exposing corruption in Durban. The killer has given me a written statement saying that he was escorted to the crime and from the scene by the South African police services. The killer wants to tell the truth. He wants nothing in exchange. Not a reduction of sentence, not a financial reward. Mkwanazi hasn't sent a single policeman to go and hear this man's story. Not one. What Mkwanazi has done He's insinuated to Parliament that I've committed a crime. In the ad hoc committee, Mkwanazi has said that there will be a conference call later where we will hear something about Adams. What you were supposed to hear was that Adams had contrived or corrupted or abused his power, whatever power he thinks I have, to obtain a blue light escort. The person implicated, the person who was supposed to make the statement, is Detective Sergeant Carlton Thomas, who has laid a charge against Mkwanazi and Major General Gopal, because he claims that they forced him into a room where the cameras were set up and had written a script that he was supposed to incriminate me in front of the ad hoc. He refused. Therefore, that conference call never happened. That raid on Saturday morning, was because on Thursday, I had asked Minister Kachalia why the National Commissioner is suspended, because he's charged, something I demanded, no one else did. But Dumasani Kumalo is still at work at Crime Intelligence, he's charged too. There's no consistency here. The minister couldn't answer, because there's no consistency here. Now, Mkwanazi sends the PKTT after me. They want to arrest the people that are holding them accountable. They want to arrest the people that are exposing them. Good luck to them. I've given you the email from Mkwanazi. I've given you the email from me. 3 weeks ago, I emailed the minister, Kachalia, and I said to him, I believe the PKTT is looking to contrive or obtain an arrest warrant for me. An arrest warrant for me. Said, I'm not a fugitive. Neither am I a criminal. I'm happy to comply. Here's my attorney on record. I'll hand myself over to the police station because I know what's coming. Mkwanazi received this email. The PKTT hits an innocent house anyway. This morning, Mkwanazi sends an email he tries to recall. I think he realized he made a mistake. There is apparently an arrest warrant out for me. I don't know what crime they say I've committed. I don't know how they obtained it. I don't know lied in their statement. But I'm going to comply with the process. However, I want to ask Mkwanazi a very simple question. Or let me ask the country a question. Fani Masimola, the National Commissioner, Mkwanazi's bra, the one that he tried to hold the country to hostage for, not so that he couldn't be arrested, is accused of defrauding this country of about 50 million rand in conjunction with Vusikat Matlala. He is given a warning letter and told to appear in court. Fadiel Adams was escorted by Metro Police to a prison to find out the truth, and he's to be arrested in the middle of the night like a thief or a murderer. These people have no consistency because they don't understand the law. But what I want to say to you is that in the middle of all this, Mkwanazi must understand I'm not going away. And the cases that we laid are not going away. And the evidence that we have is not going away. As a matter of fact, we have more evidence. And this week we'll be laying more charges against them. I want this country to understand something. On the 6th of June, 2025, Mkwanazi became a hero. What was he doing in the 40 years before that? People forget this is a servant of the Vierkleur, a singer of the stem. One of those who used to tear gas people like us when we were fighting for our freedom. This is why they have no respect for democracy. This is why they have no respect for people, for humanity. I'm not done with Mkwanazi. I understand that he's your hero. People must understand he's got feet of clay. This arrest must happen. I've told Patricia Mashali she can confirm it. Not all of us will survive this. Many of us will die. I, for one, am prepared to die. For this cause, for the cleanup of the South African Police Service, for the eradication of the criminals, I am prepared to die. Now let me give you an idea of how deep this rot runs. When this hit the fan, I wrote to Patikile. I WhatsApped him. I said, I can look after myself. But what I don't have is the expertise to know where to look. Show us where the blind spots are. I'm asking for a TRA, a threat and risk assessment. The general answered. 5 days later, no response from the SAPS. No one contacted me to do the risk assessment. I called Patikile. I messaged him again. I said to him, General, are you hanging me out to dry? The very next day I was called by some colonel. I said, bugger off, I don't trust you people. Ian Cameron walks into Parliament. He asked for a threat and, an assessment, and I think he asked for VIP protection. It was done immediately. Just so that you understand what's happening here. So if you don't comply, they'll hang you out to dry. But then I'll take you one step further than that. Yesterday I called the National Commissioner 10 times. I messaged her. I wanted to know what's happening. Why is this being allowed?
The acting one.
The acting. She didn't answer. She didn't reply. It appears that the National Commission is scared of these people too. These are powerful people. These are ruthless people. But you must understand one thing, Kwanazi. I'm not going to stop. I remember the song that you sent. You'll be the last motherfucker breathing. No, you won't. I will. But seeing as you love Tupac so much, let me give you a Tupac quote. Coward. A coward dies 1,000 deaths. A soldier dies but once. You're free to come and get me. I'm handing myself over to the police station of their choice. I want to see this bullshit warrant. I want to see the statements in it. And then the game begins. But I want this country to understand that this is not a saint. This is not a Mandela or Biko. This is de Klerk's boy. P.W. Botha would have called him a goeie ka. This is General Bulletproof Vest. This is General Louis Vuitton. This is General I ran away while KZN was burning, while proper soldiers were fighting. We're sanctifying the wrong people here. There are good policemen within the SAPS. I just don't know if any of them are generals. Thank you.
Honourable Adams, thank you so much. Abogo Kobogana from the SAPS News. Just as a matter of clarity on the issues that you have raised, you haven't received the warrant?
No, sir.
And how did you came to know about it?
When the raid happened at 4 o'clock in the morning, that woman obtained my number at about 6 o'clock from a friend. 6 a.m. She called me. I went there. I thought the SAPS was still there. I then took her to the police station where she laid the charges. I then went back home, printed a few documents, went out and laid my own charges. At that stage, I still don't know that there's a warrant. At 8:01 this morning, Kwanazi sends an email. He tries to recall. You can see it, it's in your pack. He tries to recall the email. That's when I see in his own handwriting that there is a warrant out for me. Now understand, I've made it clear to this man weeks ago, if you have a warrant, don't come with drama, man. Don't send rifles into my house. Don't come and traumatize and hit my kids and all that type of shit, which is what the PKTT is known for. I said, I'll hand myself over. What does he do? He allows it to happen anyway. This is intimidation. I'm not intimidated. He must understand the difference between he and I is I don't run from trouble. I will stand my ground even if I stand alone.
Another point, Honourable Adams, is the issue of the property. You said this is a property that you used to use previously. Is it under you still now, or somebody else who's living in it? And where is the location of it?
The property was sold about 4 months ago.
Okay.
The transfer happened about 8 weeks ago. So we have moved. It's not registered in my name. They went in there, they took pictures of this woman's ID, they assaulted a 12. Like it's that size. Assaulted him in front of his mother. Pointed rifles at the mother and the father while they did it. Like, what kind of people, what kind of animals are these? Like, do the Cape Flats Lighties not have enough violence imposed upon them? Now you got these type of thugs operating here. Now, let me ask you a question, South Africa. Sandiso Mahaka meant something to us? He was killed. The killer is saying SAPS involved. He's saying it. He's mentioning Dumasani Kumalo's name. General Dumasani Kumalo's name. Kwanazi is refusing to investigate. But he sends his goons from KZN to the man who obtained the letter. What is he trying to cover? Now let me ask you something else. In terms of expense, what does it cost to send 15 PKTT members here? To hire the cars, the hotels, the food. They could have given that job to a local unit who could have come to my house and arrested me. Klar. But let's take it a step further. Why wasn't I just issued a warning letter? I haven't committed a crime. Where's the crime? Let Mkwanazi pull the constitution and show me which crime I've committed. Because this idiot, this apartheid servant, this coward doesn't understand the law. But you know what Masimola did? He gave him a job that allows him to come after anyone that is going after the corrupt policeman. And that appointment couldn't have been approved. It's not regular. How does a general who's about to be suspended, how does he get allowed to make an appointment, appointments to senior positions? How does it happen? How does South Africa, how does Parliament allow this to happen?
So you think there is a selectiveness in terms of the law? You've mentioned the police chairperson, Ian Cameron, was also protected at some point in time?
Yes. There's definitely. Look, I don't want to accuse any politicians of collusion, but I'm telling you that politicians are colluding with these people. Now, when he speaks of a Big Five cartel, I'm telling you the biggest cartel in the country is the SAPS. The generals that are supposed to ensure that you and I are safe. There's your cartel. But I'm coming. Small as we are, inconsequential as the country thinks we are, this country must remember that the people that put them away was us. Yes, sir.
Sorry, when you answer, can you look at the cameras? Because I'm not getting you.
Oh, sorry, man. I'm having a personal conversation.
Yeah, just look. Whenever you speak, look at this direction.
Let me look at Wesley. It's hard to look at Wesley, but let me look at Wesley. Not easy to look at.
So, just to ask, have you heard anything from the acting minister yet? And then also, just in terms of the arrest warrant, do you perhaps know the details regarding what the arrest warrant is?
We at this stage we have no details, but what I will do for you is I'll play you the voice note, the last voice note I sent the minister yesterday, because I was actually very upset. Because if this is how the minister is going to treat a member of parliament whose life might be threatened, because at that stage we are not aware if this is an extraction, is it a kidnapping, is it arrest, is it a search and seizure, because these people refuse to produce any paperwork. Now, if this is how the minister is going to act, then I'm going to tell you off the bat that as much as I wanted Masimola out, the new one is not actually doing, she's just not doing justice to the job. And if she's not doing justice to the job, let me encourage the acting national commissioner, please step off. Please step off. If you are intimidated by these people, you don't belong in the job. We can find someone else. I'm just looking for, of course I can't find it. Anyway, what was the next question while I look?
Fadiel, do you perhaps have proof that the raid that took place yesterday was really intended for you? Or like, what proof do you have? Also, does the PKTT have jurisdiction in the Western Cape to come and enforce an arrestment? Because you do say that they were unmasked and the vehicles did not have like proper branding for you to be able to know whether it's SAPS or PKTT.
The evidence that I have is in the statement of the people who were arrested and assaulted by these people. They are saying they came into the house looking for Fadiel Adams.
But did they say they were PKTT?
Ma'am, there's only one unit in this country that operates like that with balaclavas, no identity. It's the PKTT. They are a bunch of thugs. Now, let me ask you this question. Of which political killing am I accused? Let me ask you that question. The PKTT, their mandate is to investigate and solve political killings. Of which political killing am I accused? Now, I said it from the word go. The PKTT is nothing more than a combat squad and a bullying mechanism for certain generals. I will not be bullied. Now, I thank God they didn't come into my house, because if they had touched my son, I'd have given them every reason to shoot.
You said you opened a case.
Yes,
which police station?
Lentegeur. I opened the case at Lentegeur police station. Now, if you want to know how corrupt the South African police service is, 18 hours later, I still haven't received the case number. You're supposed to get that thing within 45 minutes. Do you understand what's happening here? Does South Africa understand what's happening here?
To shoot.
Yes, Mr. Fester?
So are you saying that in terms of there's no sighting of the police, there's no physical sighting, there's no proof of that, and there's not one picture, not one video of the police, of the raid, of anything?
4 o'clock in the morning, the woman opens the door. They point rifles at them. They take their phones. They tell them to open their phones. They're not able to take pictures. But there are neighbors in the road who saw as they left. I asked, why didn't you take pictures? They say, we see the commotion, we come outside. We see these people walking down the roads with rifles the size of 16-year-old children. They say, I'm not taking a picture. I'm not taking a picture. However, the road is littered with cameras. There's a sub-council office in the road. So as soon as I receive the case number, which I haven't received, I'm referring this issue to the IDAC, and I'll ask the IDAC to go and inspect the cameras. Because something had to pick it up. Unless someone is going to tell me that a woman that I've met once woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning, cut her own locks, taught her 12-year-old lie about policemen that walked into his room and assaulted him. Maybe Mkwanazi can get away with that. He gets away with everything else.
So do you guys have evidence of that, of the broken locks and broken doors? And
the broken locks, they did not break the doors. They were banging on the doors when she opened. But they did cut the locks. I can ask her to send you pictures.
So where to from here?
I'm writing to the Speaker of Parliament this morning. I'm writing to the Public Protector. I'm writing to the Human Rights Commission. But I'm looking forward to handing myself over, man. I'm looking forward to handing myself over. You see, Mkwanazi forgets, I don't think he understands that this is a different type of animal. I essentially grew up in prison cells. And I appeared at the Wynberg Magistrates Court 4 every second week between the ages of 14 and 18 during my delinquency. I'm not afraid of the court system or of a prison cell or of a general who runs away. I'm prepared for this. We are going to clean out the South African police services whether he likes it or not. But understand something. This man believes he's not accountable to anyone. The media, let me appeal to the media. You're supposed to be the watchdog of the country. Mine, his, everybody's. How are you not asking IPID how far the investigations into him are? How are you not asking how family members of his are absorbed into the South African police services as full colonels before they served a day in the force? How are you not asking him where's the progress on the Sindiso murder? Why are you not investigating this? Why is the media so intent on turning this man into a saint? You know who's a hero? General Theo is a hero. Robert McBride is a hero. Andre Lincoln, he was a hero. Mkwanazi, an apartheid servant. Never will I respect that. Ek is my pa se kind. I will never respect Naskari. Are there any other questions? Oh, now I should become a salesman. Oh, let me end this. Mkwanazi, when I run you out of the SAPS, which I will, consider a future in selling used cars or something. You're that good at it. Thank you. Alright, so who's bringing me bread, sugar, and coffee when I'm in this house? Yo.
Your friend Wesley.
Wesley? Yeah. Wesley will bring me Vaseline.
Yeah.
I mean, with criminals.
Are we done? They don't understand their role. Now, you know, you once told me that education is important. Please, sir, educate your damn story. So one of my staff members said that there were 3 policemen outside waiting for me. And then I said, well, can I be arrested? I'm okay with it. But, like, I'm here, they not here, I'm not going to stand here and get cold. They know where to find me. I'll be at home. I'm not hiding. You know, Mkwanazi, the difference between you and I is I don't run from trouble.
Are you scared about the security with your life?
I'm scared for the country, sir. My life means nothing. Like, literally, I'm worth more to my kids dead than alive. Take me if you want me, I'm okay. But fix the South African police services, those of you that are left behind. Listen to Patricia Mashali, she's telling you the truth. These people are corrupt, these people are criminals. They're colluding with criminals. That's why the National Commission is report right now. Next to a criminal. Listen to this woman. This country is in trouble.
So besides the case that you've opened yesterday, are you planning to open another one saying that there were people allegedly who came to arrest you but couldn't find you?
I don't think I can lay a case. I don't want to waste the police services time. We'll be laying multiple charges as of this week because we have more evidence of more fraud and corruption. Remember, the media is not talking about it. I've laid charges against Masimola. I've laid charges against Mkwanazi with evidence. I think this is what brings this knee-jerk reaction. I think they can understand how the dominoes are falling. I think they understand that they're in deep trouble. I'd really like more parties to support us, but I think political parties in general are just scared of these people. The NCC is not afraid. You see, the deficit Mkwanazi is operating at here is he's going up against a man who's not afraid of dying. I should have been dead at 18. He's facing a man who's not afraid of jail. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. He wants war. We got war. We're good. You can win the battle of TikTok, sir. I'll win the battle of facts. The battle before the court. The battles your friends are facing. I can tell you now, Masimola's not sleeping well. Kumalo's not sleeping well. The evidence tells them they shouldn't be sleeping well. Have a good day, folks. Thank you. They refuse to produce a warrant because they're looking for Fadiel Adams. You with me so far?
Yeah.
Now throw your mind back to the ad hoc committee where Mkwanazi promises the committee that there's going to be a conference call later where someone's going to tell you something about Adams. That someone is Sergeant Carlton Thomas, whom Mkwanazi them set up in front of cameras and threatened to make an incriminating statement about me and my Metro Police escort that I used to Westville Prison. The sergeant refused. He subsequently laid a charge of intimidation against Mkwanazi and Gopal. Just so that you know where we are. So, there's an email there where Mkwanazi now confirms this morning at 8:01 that there is indeed a arrest warrant out for me in KZN. But if you look at the very top of the first page of the email, you'll see that he tried to recall the email. Because Mkwanazi is trying to cover his ass. So that's it. I'm just waiting on a statement from the sergeant. Just print 3 or 4 copies. We can give it to them later as well, man. They can share it amongst themselves for now. Just so we can get going. It is Sunday morning after all. And white people also have sisters now. I love you, Brendan. You know, there's only a handful of the settler type that I like, man. You are amongst them.
So is the warrant of arrest by the KPTT or KZN commissioner?
I have no idea because SAPS has refused to release